Welcome back to Let's Just Do This. I'm Todd Miller on your TV in Milton, along with Margaret Wallis-Duffy. Good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How are you today?
Excellent. Doing very well again.
Good stuff. So as always, we've got a great guest in store on Let's Just Do This. We're always bringing change makers to the table to really talk about the ages and stages in life and how we can share inspiring, authentic stories. And I understand that this incredible guest has quite a story.
Absolutely. Laura's been in my life now for, I don't know, 6-8 years, something like that. Met her at an industry thing, and we've been pretty good buddies since then. I have to get to your bio because I can't remember it all. There's so much it's spilling out. Laura Hampshire is your name. You have two famous parents, actually.
Yeah.
Keith and Kathy, correct?
Yes.
So you were raised on a horse farm in Churchill, Ontario, by parents who starred in Wayne and Schuster. So some of us may remember Wayne and Schuster, a great variety show when there were such things. Your mom was a model, and she turned to be an elementary school teacher, and your dad was a pirate radio in England on Radio Carolina. I remember that well.
Yeah.
No eye patch, no wooden leg. But
No, just a bunch of smelly guys on a boat in the middle of the English Channel playing rock and roll.
Absolutely. You've also been in the media yourself. You've been an announcer, host, producer, writer, news anchor for about 20 years. And as you say, you're only 29, so let's go with that.
Yes, that's right.
You worked at some of the best stations in the country, and I believe you were the first solo female morning show host. Is that correct?
Yeah, which I guess was a big deal. I didn't know that a lot of women don't host their own morning shows by themselves. But when I got hired for the gig, my PD said, hey, by the way, you're the first. And I went, oh, that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Something to add to your resume. You've also been on 680 News, where I first heard you. And
nice.
You actually helped another station climb to the #1 rating spot, and they'd never been there before.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited. And a little nervous, I'll be honest.
You know, that always makes me giggle, and yet I relate entirely when people say to me, oh, you do public speaking, you're on television, you're always in front of the camera. That doesn't mean we're not human. And so I respect and appreciate your honesty and authenticity sharing with us that you're nervous, but we don't bite. And we're excited to have just a real conversation with you today, because I know we're going to cover some topics that are certainly timely and in the news, and that everyone is really struggling with, I think, and real issues that we need to address.
For sure.
The first thing I want to talk about is women in the media.
Okay.
You are a woman in the media.
Last time I checked.
Yes. And I mean, just what we were talking about with you being the first solo host of a morning show. There have been lots of examples of women co-hosting. Marilyn Dennis has done it for many years. I mean, she's a rock star.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, Erin Davis too. I mean, they are two of the top women in the industry. However, they are a minority.
Absolutely.
Right? It usually is. It's very male dominated, and on morning shows, usually women do take a more minor role.
This is the thing that struck me when I read that. Not that you're not worthy of it, but that it didn't come sooner. Like, why has it taken so long for the industry to see the potential and to give someone that responsibility?
I don't know. It surprises me when I look at the statistics of how very few women there are in clout major positions when it comes to media and marketing and the entertainment industry. I mean, the statistic is around, I think, 3 to 5%, which is so small. And especially when we're influenced by so many images in marketing and media, but yet so few women are controlling that. So, I mean, I'd love to see more women in more powerful roles when it comes to the media, for sure.
Where do you see yourself now? You're in an interesting position because you are sort of outside the media at the moment and looking in. Does it fill you with hope? Does it concern you? Do you see yourself being a catalyst for change for young women that are considering a future in media, broadcasting, marketing?
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry to put that on you.
That's a lot of pressure, Todd.
I know.
Oh, man.
I know.
You know, it's difficult in the media because there's so many challenges, especially because media is changing so much in the last 20 years. They just got rid of all the sportscasts on a certain network, right? I mean, they're limiting their news now to just quick headlines, 60 seconds, that's all you get, because they figure people are getting their information online. So you have to keep developing and modernizing yourself and keeping up with podcasts and online media and new media and all the different things that are going on. But I mean, for me, it was always really important to have a plan B, just in case. Just as a woman, I just thought it was important for me to have another avenue just in case, because there are so few women in power in the industry.
You know, one of the things that you just said really resonated with me, and what makes me so proud of what we're doing here at this table, and thanks to your TV, we're able to take what we know in new media as being not just the way of the future, it's happening, but we've been doing this for a while before it was cool to do it. Haven't we, Todd?
We got some strange looks.
Yeah, we got some looks like, what do you mean? What does that mean? Because I knew that television was going to be in the palm of our hands.
Yeah.
And now here we are, though, networks, you know, and like your TV here, enabling us to bring people to the table like you, have real discussions and combine traditional media with new media. But what I loved about what you said is that you want there to be more women making decisions and pushing through that. I want to ask you, as a woman that's been in the media, the traditional media, and now, as Todd said, sort of finding a new way and your plan B, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a bit. What has it been like for you as a woman as we age? This is something that is near and dear to my heart, because one of the things that I want most from what we do here on Let's Just Do This is to give authentic content that matters, that isn't filtered and always pretty, and yet it be respectful of the process. And so what am I beating around the bush here about? It's difficult as a woman, as we age, to always look our best. We live in a filtered world where everybody compares.
Yes.
Tell us your story a little bit about comparing yourself to others in the media and what that can do to you and your health, because everybody knows that watches this show, that's something that's near and dear to my heart. Our health, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual, is so important. And I think that filtering occurs in life, but certainly in the media. How's it affected you?
Well, I once had a PD tell me that all the men are going to hate you and all the women are going to want to hate you. So you have to be as likable as possible. And that really bothered me at first, because I was like, oh, but I'm such a likable person. Why would they hate me? But then I realized that, yeah, when it comes to attacking other women, we seem to, or women in power, if you read the comments, it's always about their appearance and what they look like or what they're wearing, and the name calling, like they're old schmarms and they're this and that. And from my own experience, my very first TV job, I was about 21 years old, and I was doing a little segment called Lather Up with Laura, which ran during All My Children. And the former host was Cheryl Hickey.
Ah, I know
who
Cheryl.
Was on E.T. Canada, yeah. Who was blonde and beautiful. And I mean, she's
stunning.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm not Cheryl Hickey, but that's okay. I felt pretty good about myself until I started doing the show, because I instantly got an email from a man that said, "Can you not find anybody better than this fat, ugly pig?" And I will never forget it, because that was quote unquote what he said. And here I am, 21, 22 years old, and I had already been battling an eating disorder since I was 14, anorexia. And it just started steamrolling again. I remember calling my mom and telling her what he had said, and you know, she was like, well, you know you're not, blah, blah, blah. And we signed up for a gym together and started getting into some sort of healthy program, even though I was not overweight. But then I got more and more emails like that. And my dad, who of course had been in the industry for years, said, listen, Cookie, you got to decide right now if you can either get a stiff back or get out now, because this is what you're going to get in the media, in this industry. And it was amazing how many nasty emails and messages that I would get from men and women just purely on my appearance, or the sound of my voice, or my laugh. It was horrible, but I got through it, and you know, I have battled anorexia ever since. I'm not going to lie about that, and I still battle it to this day.
You know, being so real and authentic and sharing that story is powerful, because when we think about now with new media and our children, or I understand you're a rock star aunt. I read that in your bio and I love that.
Best auntie ever. I have it in writing.
I love it.
It's worth something.
Yes,
So,
it is worth something.
Yeah, us as parents, you as an adored aunt, we know firsthand in social media and behind the scenes on a regular basis, our kids are being faced, and not just girls. This isn't just about girls.
Oh.
Yep.
We're being faced with this judgment and this constant comparison in this filtered world. I'm on a mission to really try to pull back, you know, the blanket and really talk about this for our youth. So thank you for, as a beautiful woman that you are in the position that you've been in, and girls that are going to look at you and think, well, she's got it all figured out, that you too struggled with that.
Oh, for sure.
And that we need to talk more about this, because I think as women especially, we can do that to one another without even realizing it. We can compare ourselves to others on a regular basis. And as you said, you're not Cheryl Hickey, and I've had the pleasure of interviewing Cheryl. She's a lovely woman, and I'm sure she thinks the same thing as you do. We are always the worst judges of ourselves, and self-love is so critical. But it is tough, isn't it? And I'm so grateful for you coming here and actually sharing that this exists, even in broadcast television.
Well, that's the
right?
thing. I mean, we have so many young women, but if we don't have these powerful women and women in the media, who are their mentors? Who are they to look up to? If they don't see an example of a woman in power, then how are they going to know that that's what they should strive for? Especially right now in the online media, everything is about what you look like and becoming a model. And
I think the flaws are what make it real for people, because when they look up to a certain broadcaster, you know, and say, he or she has it all together, good looks, you know, nice job and everything, and you think it's all figured out. But there's this whole other side where they are an actual human being with concerns and issues and problems and fears. And that is what makes it real to someone to say, yeah, we share that. I can aspire to that.
well, the thing is too is that, I mean, I have extreme stage fright, extreme. It's really, really bad. And most people, when I mention it, they laugh. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah. But it's true, and I've had it for many, many years. I had a music teacher years ago who used to humiliate me whenever I was on stage, tell me that I didn't deserve any applause, and totally berate me. So now when I have to go up on stage and do New Year's Eve shows and host big events, my entire body is trembling. And I can barely breathe, but I'm faking. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. And I'm terrified. And anyone looking closely would see that I'm absolutely terrified. And I usually get off the stage and almost have a little cry and feel really great that I got out there and I did it. But I mean, it's still a battle, and I did seek help for it. And the doctor said, you have no idea how common this is in your industry.
Yeah. And it's common in life. And I think now, and it comes right back to the point, in a minute we're going to take a break here, and I want to talk about how you're transitioning and the plan B that you have. I think all of us need that. But even now, when social media is so prevalent and anyone can be on stage, putting themselves out there, and I love the fact that you're being real about the struggle. I know one of the things when I'm online, and there are days that I'll come on real and raw, not with hair done and makeup done and not shiny and looking my best, but being authentic and real. That's what this platform at Let's Just Do This is about shining a light and an example on real people doing extraordinary things, facing their fears, and helping to elevate and lift one another up. So I hope that you're going to stick around for another segment with us.
Yeah, I won't run away.
Because we want to talk about, now, a transition that you're in, and whether you go back into traditional media, what else have you got cooking up in your wonderful life that we can't wait to share. You'll stick around.
All right.
So stay with us, because we've got more great stories and education here when we talk about real issues with real people on Let's Just Do This. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Let's Just Do This. I'm Todd Miller on your TV, and along with Margaret Wallis-Duffy and our amazing guest, Laura Hampshire. So we teased everyone before we went to break that there is a plan B in place.
And I have not the one you pick up at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Well, I have some background information, and I believe your plan B involves being Wonder Woman or Princess Leia. I'm not sure.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Any princess
cosplay
that doesn't need to be saved.
I'd like it.
See?
I like it. Strong, powerful woman. So let's talk about your plan B. You've taken a break from the media, and you've reassessed things, and you've decided to do something else. And again, it's something with purpose and focus and being an agent of change. What is that?
Yes, I like to help people, and I like to help people be happy. And I guess that's where kind of the transition came into place of being an entertainer to being a personal trainer and nutrition coach. Because to me, being happy is being healthy. It completely goes one-on-one. And stemming back to the fact that I've battled anorexia and still do for the past 30 years, it just put me in a direction where I could learn more about healthy eating and the damage that I was doing to my own system. And sharing that with others, and also being in the media and feeling, as we were talking before about comparing, and having so many of my girlfriends compare themselves to me even, and especially when I was about 100 pounds. When I first left my husband, I think it was about 105 pounds, how many women or men would go, "You look incredible." And it actually would upset me, like truly upset me as a person, because I'm not healthy. This is not attractive. It shouldn't be attractive. And so that's why I really wanted to help people accept themselves, love themselves, no matter what size they are, and just learn how to live a healthier lifestyle. So many people go, "Oh, well, I can't work out because, I'm getting older, or because my back hurts, or I've got a bad knee." You don't have to accept that. You don't have to say, "Oh, well, I've got a bad back, so it's just going to progressively get worse and I'll be in a..." Why? Why accept that? I have bad hips and knees, but I'm still doing deadlifts and squats. I'm telling you that, because I refuse to allow it to get worse. And for me, lifting weights and healthy eating is like brushing my teeth in the morning. It's something that I have to do in order to live a happier, healthier lifestyle. So that's I guess where the transition came into me, where it's like, what else can I do to make people happy and to help them live a better life? And so that's where the transition came into be, and also helping myself at the same time.
I love that you shared that the whole comparison thing, and I know I'm going at this hard today, but I got to tell you, just this morning, I happened to see an interchange in social media of a wonderful human being that's wanting to make changes in her life and is doing an amazing job, but was comparing herself to everyone else who she isn't. She's not everyone else.
Yes.
And we can say till the cows come home, don't look at the scale and don't get rid of the measuring tape. But especially women, I think men, Todd, I think men can do it as well. But I think, like you said, people told you looked awesome when you're at your sickest point.
Yes.
There's something seriously wrong with the culture that we live in and the society, and I think sometimes we're responsible for feeding that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm here to say, I don't want that. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want there to be, I want people to be proud of their progress. I want people to feel really good about the progress that they're making.
Yep.
But I don't want to just, especially with women, and the daughter of a young 16-year-old girl who, I will say this candidly, and it might be a little bit out there, if you're not 100 pounds soaking wet in a tiny little package, my daughter is this stunning, beautiful girl and you mentioned about your voice, with a deep voice, doesn't she, Todd?
Yep.
But she, it's certainly in grade 7 and 8 didn't look like all the rest of her classmates. And so immediately comparing the pictures side by side of girls her age, she wasn't good enough. And here you are, a grown woman, and you were saying the same thing in the media. I love that you're taking that now and doing it in your work as a personal trainer. Thank you for that, and being so honest about your struggles, because we can paint a picture looking so beautiful when it's really not always that beautiful. And our children need to hear this.
Well, I was a stepmom briefly, and my stepdaughter was between the ages of 12 and 14. And when my eating disorder was at its worst, she would look at me and go, "Oh, I wish I had abs like that." I was mortified and would try to wear as many layers of clothes as I could just for her not to know. I have a Facebook group that I called the F Word Sisterhood. And it's about friends, fitness, fun, fashion. And I posted on there, if I do any sort of fitness videos, please understand that even right now, I'm at least 10 to 20 pounds underweight. Do not compare yourself to me. And I'm actually going to be doing a video soon about the power of posing and those whole before and after photos that people see when they compare themselves. And just to forget all of it. Yep. You know, whatever gets you moving, whatever makes you happy, whether it's boot camps, whether it's pickleball like my dad, whatever, whether it's weightlifting, get out and do it. Me, I do more personalized one-on-one training because I believe, you know, people eat differently, people act different, do different activities. So that's what I offer. But for me, as long as people are getting out and moving and enjoying life.
Exactly, exactly.
We were talking during the break about these cookie cutter diet plans and fitness plans that you can buy online.
Yeah.
I've always sort of had a jaundiced eye looking at them because you don't really know what situation. The person selling you the program doesn't know you have a bum knee or a bad back or your metabolism is ridiculously low.
Body composition, all of it.
Exactly. So I like that it's personal training.
Sure. Now, I will say there are some amazing online programs, and you do have to, some amazing ones, Absolutely. And you do have to find and surround yourself, and we were talking about this in the break as well, surround yourself with, you know, a team. A team that's going to be there to help coach you. A team which should also, you know me, I'm all about integrative health. It should include your healthcare providers. It should include, you know, personal trainers or people that are online, and we're going to have some of those types of people on our show that truly care about giving the right information to the right people at the right time.
Right information as well.
That's
Once again, the whole misinformation, there's so much out there in different diets and fads and cleanses. Forget it. Just go see a professional and learn about just healthy eating. Yeah. My whole thing is if it's got a name, don't do it. Because it shouldn't be about a name. It shouldn't be a gimmick, you know?
Yeah.
It should just be...
Healthy living is an ongoing process, and it takes time and energy and
more than 21 days.
And I think that it sometimes, you know, it evolves. You know, here I am, almost 51 years of age, and when I look back at the way I was when I was 20 and 30, and I'm at a different stage and phase in my life, which I embrace, and I'm not going to be like the 20-something, and I don't want to be, but I do want to live well for as long as I can and be and age in a healthy way, which is so important.
Big time.
So I want to talk a little bit about, before we have to finish up here, with the media and online. I would love to see or hear what your thoughts are on possibly doing more in new media. I don't know, like on Let's Just Do This and other things.
This is your job interview, by the way.
Oh, geez, I should have brought my suit.
We need references.
I just, you know, do you think there's a place getting back to, because interestingly enough, I know many people that have been in media that have now transitioned out of media, and there's an amazing opportunity for them to use their skills to help others.
Yes.
Do you have any hopes to help others in their pursuit in media, whether it be, or even just in your pursuit with healthy living, to use new media for that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a website, laurahampshire.com, which of course has my media stuff, also has my fitness stuff, and a little bit of my personal story too of my weight struggles from teenage years and why I think it's so important. Like I said, I started the Facebook group as well, which, yes, is primarily for women and those who identify as such, but just because I feel I wanted women to have a safe place where we could talk and support each other and encourage each other. And podcasts and blogging and all this stuff. I'm slowly getting into it because I need to, you know, in order to stay in the market, but also to get my message across of helping people and
getting it out directly too, not through filters.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, and I do love in this Me Too time in our society, and it's very, very important. But I think most importantly, the simple message, just like with health, we need to link arms and help elevate one another.
Yes.
With our differences, we need to elevate one another. And women sometimes are pretty nasty when it comes to
don't
jealousy.
Get me started.
Isn't it? It's so true.
Wow.
And so I'm really honored that you come on the show and that you've, from your experience in the media and feeling worthy, because I certainly think we are worthy of having amazing guests at this table. But I do honor and respect the fact that you think that it's important enough to come on and talk about these issues real and honestly and authentically without any airs and just being you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I hope more women understand that they are so much more than their appearance. They do have a voice, and their voice matters.
You betcha.
Yeah, we're absolutely about introducing the world at large to people that matter and that people that are making a difference.
And certainly, Laura, you are one of them. So thank you so much for coming on Let's Just Do This. We hope that you'll come on again in the future. And I'm going to have to check out that Facebook page. You're not allowed, though. You're not allowed.
Again.
There might be some Wonder Woman stuff on there. I don't know. There might be.
Feeling excluded again.
Well, we always love bringing change makers to the table here at Let's Just Do This. Thank you to Laura and the entire team here at Your TV, and of course behind the scenes of Let's Just Do This. It matters to us to have real conversations with real people, to help really challenge your beliefs and to help educate, empower, and inspire you. I hope this episode did today. If you enjoyed it, share it with others. We really want to use new media to get the word out globally. So until next time, on behalf of my good friend and co-host Todd Miller and Margaret Wallis-Duffy, we'll see you next time. Until we chat again, be well.